everyone. Let's go ahead and start. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Else, we'll continue the yesterday stuff. So yesterday, most of the things are done. Then let's see the core functions. Core functions in the UI5. Okay. Let me run the Eclipse. So there are some core functions. Let's see the first core functions. So one of the core function is SAP dot, as we said, okay, there is a SAP object, global object created whenever you run the program or whenever you instantiate that one. So there is a function called SAP UI dot get core. So it returns or gets a core instance. What is this meaning? Get a core instance. So let me run the program and show you. I don't know why my machine became very slow. So let me close this one. Core functions. I was typing something yesterday. Let's see. Okay, so if you look at here, so to test this core function or get core method, what it is going to return and all. So what I'm trying to say here, I just have a button or text field. These are all. Okay, so I just have a text field created for testing purpose. That means to understand this, I just have created a text field. Then I have created a button, and I added both to the UI area. So UI area is nothing but this one. So if I run this program, what happens? You can also run for quicker side web app preview. So Tomcat is taking too much of time on my machine, so that's why I'm running here. Okay, so that's why I'm running here. Now look at this. So I got the results. See, in this program, nothing is there. If you look at, so I created a text field, and I created a button. I created a text field, and I created a button, and I added the text field to content. That's nothing but the body div, and this one also I added to the content. So that's why they are coming one by one, or one after one. Sorry, one after one. And if you look at here, the value. So obviously value is going to appear. So if you want to change it, you can change it. That's fine. But that is not big important here. So now for the button, I am attaching a press event. So button dot attach press. Then inside that, SAP dot UI dot get core method I am using. Now if I try to print this, if you look at here, I am pressing the button. See, get core is returning the object. As we discussed what? Your button class, your page class, all this class, base class is what? Base class or, sorry, super class or root class is what? Object class. That's why your get core method is going to return the object. So the output is what? So the output of this one is object. Object of object. So therefore it is going to return the object. So that's what the meaning. So okay, just okay, the next method is, so SAP dot UI dot get core by ID. By ID, then you are going to specify some ID. So if you look at here, what it is going to return? If you look at here, what it is going to return? So text field is having some ID. What is the text field ID? TF1. Text field is having some ID. So what is the ID it is having? TF1. Now I am saying SAP.UI.getCore by ID TF1. So I am passing this ID. So if I alert this one, look at the results. I am pressing the button. This is the core. say OK. Now if you look at here, what is its ID? So the output is sap.ui.getCore by ID element. Which ID I am passing? Text field ID. Okay. So therefore it is saying sap.ui.commons.text field is the one. So that means, so if you pass the ID, it is going to return where it is coming from. If you pass the ID, it is going to return where it is coming from. Okay. So just give me 2 minutes. Okay, so the first one is going to be sap.ui.getCore. So the getCore is going to return the root object or super object. So the super object is going to be object. That's why the outcome is object. Now if you look at here, the second one, sap.ui.getCore by ID. By ID, so you need to pass some ID. So which ID I am passing? TF1, text field 1. So that's why it is going to return. So where it is coming from? So it is coming from sap.ui.commons.text field. sap.ui.common.text field. If I pass B1, what happens? If I pass B1, what happens? Okay, now run this. Get core, that's fine. Now see, it's returning sap.ui.commons.b1. So that's what the meaning. So if you are passing a ID, so it is going to return where it is coming from. So therefore, gets an instance of UI5 control which was created with ID. With ID can be. So what is the purpose of this one? So what is the purpose of this one? If you want to, if you can use it. Can you go for minute, please? Okay. So can be used to access removed controls. Remove controls. So example, what it is going to return? So it is going to return something like this. If you look at the output of this one, say OK. So sap.ui.commons.button, something like that. sap.ui.commons.text field hash. So what is the ID we pass? TF1. So that is going to return. That's fine. So the next method is SAP.UI.getCode, getCode of apply changes. GetCode.apply apply changes. So what this method will do? This method basically returns, let's say I am typing something, right? If I type something, so immediately there is a change is applied in the text box or text field. If you look at here, so what is right now? It is empty. I type D, so that means there is a change in the text field. So whenever there is a change in the text field, so this particular method is triggered. So this method we will see. I already have the one of the. We can use this one in one of our coming examples. So I just give this one. Okay, carries out and renders the changes for UI5 controls immediately. Okay, before runtime do it. Before runtime do it. Okay, carries out and renders changes for UI5 controls. So what is that meaning? If you look at here, this one we'll use in the one of the example, apply changes. What I'm trying to say is that you have a text field. Okay, you have a text field. Now nothing is there. So I type K. So that means there is a change applied in the text field. A. There is a change applied in the text field. There is a change applied in the text field. So whenever there is a change applied in the text field, then immediately this method will be triggered. Immediately this method will be fired. Okay. So that one we'll see. So next one. So the next thing is that otherwise you can also see here apply changes. Then here itself you need to write the method. For this you need to write the method apply changes. So then put the alert so that you will get the message. That's fine. The next one is the next core method. One of the core method is jQuery QUERY dot SAP dot DOM by ID, and you will be passing some ID. What is this meaning? If you look at here, where core4 is equal to jQuery dot SAP dot DOM. Okay, by ID, you can pass some ID. So which ID you will be passing? So you can pass whatever ID you want. So but basically text field one, so that it will be easy. TF1. Now alert it and see what the results. Alert. So this result I want DOM element ID. What is the meaning of DOM element? So whatever you have, these entire things are coming from the DOM structure. So now let me hit it and see this. This is the code. This is from the get code by ID. Maybe I need to run it because changes are not applied. I'm using web preview, so that's why you need to be a bit careful. It's not Apache, but my Apache is run very slow. That's why I'm using this one. Okay, object, that's fine. This one, what happened? Look at the console. So it is saying that uncatch reference T. Okay, so there is a spelling mistake. Let's go ahead and see. TF1, that's correct only. Okay, so this is nothing but core 4. Core 4, that's what the meaning. So it is saying, see, clearly it is saying something is I don't understand. So that's what the meaning. Now go ahead and refresh. Click on this one. Click on OK, save OK. Save OK. Then there is a this one. So it is saying that jQuery SAP DOM by ID is nothing but, so what kind of TF1 is, what kind of field is that? HTML input element. What kind of DOM element is this? What kind of DOM it is? Is it an input or it is a button, like that? So it's an input, that's why it is giving HTML input element. HTML input element. So therefore, if I pass something like B1, now look at the difference. Let me run this. Okay, click on this one. Okay, okay, okay. Now it is the HTML button element. Previously, what is that? HTML input element. So basically, this method is going to tell what kind of field is that in the DOM. DOM means document object model. That means whatever you have here, everything kept under DOM structure. So these all elements will be kept under DOM structure. Okay. So therefore, basically it is going to tell for given ID, you are going to specify some ID. That ID, what kind of category is that? Is that a button category, input category? Because in the buttons also we have so many buttons. We'll see that one. In the buttons also we have so many buttons. We have inputs also, so many inputs like text field, text box, combo box, check box. Like there, so many are there. Those are also input fields. So therefore, basically it is going to categorize, or basically it is going to give what kind of element is that. Is that a button element? Is that the input element? Is that something else? Like that it is going to return. Okay, so therefore let me revert to TF1. You can also have the same B1 or whatever it may be, that's not a problem. So therefore, what it is returning? If we pass text field ID, then output is equal to this one. Now coming to here, jQuery by model. What it is returning? jQuery.sap.dom by ID. What it is returning? Gets any HTML element with ID. Okay, with ID. Basically, it is going to return the DOM element. Okay. So it is similar to in JavaScript also we have this kind of function. So that function is document dot get element by ID. So it is similar to document dot element get element by ID. It is similar to document dot get element by ID. So when did we use document dot get element by ID? So we discussed this one, document dot get element by ID in the HTML5. When did we use? Can you give me one example, because I have used more than one time. Can you give me at least one example where we use this one? Anyone? Anyone? When did we use this one? No. I am asking which example I use this one. Okay. You are telling again document get element by ID is nothing but the definition you are telling. I am not asking the definition. I use this document dot get element by ID in some of the examples. Which example I used? What happened? At least one guy. For different views example? What is that? No, I am asking HTML5. I use this method in the HTML5. 6 or 7. What is that 6 or 7? So telling some numbers is very easy. What is that 6 or 7? So for every program there is some meaning, right? I mean, okay, certain things. So that's what I'm trying to say. Certain things you should not tell that like that. Yeah, local storage is one of the example. Yes, that's correct. Local storage is one of the example. That's how you need to answer. If you don't know how to answer, at least we need to learn from Sunil. Okay, so if we use text field ID, then output is equal to what? What is the output if I use a text field? Okay, so if you look at here, blah blah blah, then it is going to say object HTML text field element. So here I need to refresh it. That's why it is not giving. Okay, so this one. So HTML input element. So the output is object HTML input element. So this is the output it is going to give. Okay, you cannot tell to the interviewer what is the example for. Can you give me one example for document.getElement by ID? Example 6, example 7. Okay, so if you say like that, they'll think that you are okay, fine. So there is one more function called jQuery.sap.byId xxx. You need to pass some ID by ID. Previous is what? jQuery.sap.dom by ID. So it is going to return DOM element type. But this is jQuery.sap.byId, just by ID. So let's see what is going to return. So you are giving example. I'll give you one example. What is that meaning? Okay, so with something by ID. So you are going to pass some ID. Let me pass TF1. Okay, alert. Then you can pass this one. So print the core file and see what is the output. Print the core file and see what is the output. Okay, so if you look at here, let's refresh it. Uncatch syntax error. What is that? Okay, so this is where, not care. Okay, now look at here. So I am pressing the button. That's fine. This is the first method, second method, fourth method, and fifth method. What is this? It's returning the object. No. DOM by ID. DOM by ID is different, right? 1 second. This is the one. Okay, now if you look at here, I am printing the core file. So core file is going to return what? If you look at here, so you can pass by ID. Okay, now type it, hit the enter, blah blah blah. That's fine, leave it. So this is the last method. So it is also returning the pointer to the root class. Basically what it is doing that jQuery.sap.byId is returning pointer to the root class. So which is the root class for the text field? Object class. So it is returning the pointer to the root class. So therefore that's what the meaning is. Returns TURNS, returns an object pointer to the control of text field. So text field, FIELD. So that's nothing but what? Object. So therefore output becomes object of object class. So basically it is going to return the pointer. So that pointer is nothing but the root class pointer. So that means from text field to root class. Okay, so like that we have many methods, but at least remember some of the methods. Which are the core methods? Get core by ID. Okay, get core dot apply changes, get core jQuery.sap.dom by ID, jQuery.sap.byId. By ID is going to return the pointer to the root class, pointer object to the root class. So that's nothing but the object again. So therefore returns an object pointer to the control of text field. So that's fine. So these are some of the methods and all. Now the next thing is that, let's do some more theory, then we can go for the examples. Another 15 to 20 minutes. I just want to cover on a high level. Okay, so what are the SAP.m? That's fine. I don't need to cover that basic things. Okay, or so the question is like this: explain basic explain SAP.m key features. So what is SAP.m? We already discussed. What is SAP.m? What is SAP.m? So it's a mobile library. I did not check. You can check. The remote. Okay. So SAP.m is nothing but the mobile library. So what are the key features of that? That's the question. So obviously, so yes, whenever you do the programming with the SAP.m, it's going to support what kind of stuffs?
Well,
it's going to support. Yeah. So the first thing is that contains. So how many controls are there? There are a lot of controls. Okay. Second. So the key features are something like this. Okay, now fine. So the first one is it contains more controls. So SAP.m, if you look at the SAP.m, it is having plenty of the controls. Google.com, SAP.m. Okay, fine. If I take something, then from there I can navigate and show you. Or okay, it is directly taken into the class. So let me go here. Okay, so if you look at here, okay, controls, right? So SAP.explore API reference. I need to go to the API reference. API reference. So SAP.m. Where is SAP? SAP. It's not. It's from the jQuery. Don't go for the from the jQuery. So you need to go for SAP.m. So if you look at here, all these are the libraries. All these are the libraries. You have n number of controls, I can say, because it's a keep on changing from version to version. So the first point is, if anyone is asking what is the key features of SAP.m, so it is used as mobile library. It is used for mobile, or anyway that will be covered more than this. So it contains more than I can say how many controls? Can you look at here? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. It's almost 20, 40, 60. Around 100 plus controls are there. Not 100, 150 plus controls are there. So it has I can say 100 plus controls. So please make sure that okay, you don't tell this answer all the time. It depends upon the version to version. So after 2 years also, if you tell this, because this note is fixed, right? After 2 years also, if you say 100 plus and all, then it's not correct. So it has 100 plus controls. sorry, 100% controls and entirely optimized for mobile use. That's what the point you need to highlight. So that means it has the controls which are optimized for the mobile usage. So it has, or it contains 100+ controls entirely optimized for mobile usage. That means whatever you have the controls here, those are mobile optimized controls. So if you look at here, SAP.com, action listener, action select, action sheet, app, start, these and all, these are all message box, start, these and all, option, object, proper, something and all. These are all mobile optimized controls. So therefore it contains 100+ controls and entirely optimized for mobile usage. Okay, next it supports. So that means what? If you are doing the code with SAP.m, okay, supports iPhone and tablet or phone and tablet. So it supports both. That means it supports the devices. If I am saying phone means what? Whether it is a iPhone or iOS, not a matter. So I am saying phone, any phone, Windows or iPhone or iOS. If I am saying tablet, a tablet which is from the iOS or Android or something else also fine. So therefore basically it supports the phone and tablet. Okay, so also supports for iOS. That's what the point I want to cover. Android, BROID, Android and BlackBerry. Please remember that there is a less support for the Windows mobiles. So if you are developing a code with SAP.m, compatibility for the Windows mobiles is very less, or maybe I can say 50%. So you need to tune your coding. Okay. So now the next thing is that so OS independent. So theme. We have OS independent theme. That's nothing but what? Blue Crystal. We have OS independent theme. That's nothing but Blue Crystal. CRYSTAL. And native is equal to native theme. Is equal to. So we have something called MBI, right? MBI theme, I told already. So that's basically for the MBI theme. What exactly this meaning is that the MBI, let's say, please look at this. If you are specifying the theme as Blue Crystal, it's a common. So that's why if you see OS independent. What is the meaning of OS here? iOS is the OS, Android is the OS, BlackBerry is the OS. For all the OS, independent theme is nothing but the Blue Crystal. Please look at here, there is a lot of meaning. Irrespective of the OS, whether it is a desktop or Android or BlackBerry, so you have independent OS theme, that's nothing but the Blue Crystal. And if you want the native theme, then you can use MVI. So this is one beautiful conclusion. What is this meaning? If I use the MVI, now this application I am running in the desktop. It tries to put the desktop native look and feel. If I try to run this application in the iPhone, that's nothing but iOS platform. Then it tries to render the iOS related look and feel. Then if I try to run this application in the Android, then it tries to render the elements with the Android look and feel. That is the specialty of this MVI. I already given one example how the elements looks in the iPhone and iOS. I already given one example how the elements looks in the iPhone and Android. Do you remember? In the beginning itself, I have given one example.
Yeah.
Okay, so therefore the way the text box looks, the way the text box looks in iPhone, the way the text box looks in the Android, there is a difference. So that different, that means that native look and feel. If you want to achieve that kind of native look and feel, better to go for this MVI. But again, you need to check how far that is standardized, because MVI is like a recently introduced theme. It was not there for quite a amount of time. So you can try to see. Mostly it is going to support it. Okay, that's fine. So this is what the conclusion. So therefore the OS independent theme is nothing but the Blue Crystal, and the native theme is nothing but the MVI. Now, so the other thing is that if at all you are using a SAP.m controls, it's also compatible for the desktops. It's also compatible for the desktops. And you have a Fiori apps, right? You have the Fiori apps. Remember that in the Fiori apps, most of the cases you are going to use Blue Crystal. Remember that in the Fiori apps, most of the cases you are going to use Blue Crystal. Okay, so therefore, so other thing is that so this also available or unified for desktops. So this is also unified for desktops. That means that this will work for the desktop also. Okay. Now the point is that in the desktop case we don't have touch, right? Then how it works? In the desktop case we don't have any touch, right? Is that correct? In the desktop or laptops we don't have touch. Is that correct?
Windows 8 will have touch.
Yes, that's correct. So the latest OS is having the touch. That means instead of you use the mouse, you can just go and have the touch. So then that case, these applications are going to be fantastic. Okay, so therefore you can use the touch in the desktop also if at all you are developing application like this. Okay, so therefore mostly Blue Crystal CRYSTAL theme used in Fiori apps. Okay, mostly Blue Crystal theme used in Fiori apps. That's fine. So the next thing is that so what are the UI5 MVC we have seen? Then we need to see the data bindings. That's fine. Localization. Okay, that's fine. Okay, the next one is, if you look at the SAP.m, right? Let's understand the architecture. If you want to understand the architecture, this is how the elements. We already seen one example with the SAP.m also. So a typical, a typical TYPICL UI5 mobile looks as below. So how it looks? So if you look at here, there is something called so this is assume that this is a UI5 mobile application. So a mobile application consists of what? A mobile application consists of what? SAP.m. Go for me, please. SAP.m. app, and app inherits from where? SAP.m. nav container. We already discussed all those things. Container. So it's a root control. Okay, that's fine. So you have a SAP mobile application. So the SAP mobile application is made up with the SAP.app. App is going to be inherited from the nav container. That's fine. Inside the app, what you will be having? Inside the app, what you will be having? I already told you. Inside the app, what you will be having? You will be having the pages. Inside the app, you will be having the pages. Okay, so inside the app you will be having the pages. So therefore sap.m.page. Then this one is sap.m.page. And these pages communicated each other. These pages communicated each other. How those are communicated each other? We already seen, right? That's what converting your inputs into theory is not that much easy. But if you are able to convert, means you understood well. Okay, so your pages can communicate each other. That's what we are able to move to the next page. We are able to come back to the previous page. Page 1, page 2. We already see. So these two can communicate each other. How? How the animation happens? Animation between the pages can be. How did we move? How did we move between the pages? Okay, so animation between pages can be. Animation between the pages can be. So that means you are going to show the second page. Slide, that means you can move to the you can slide to the second page, or you can fade to the second page, you can flip, like that you can apply so many. Like that you can apply the animations. Justify. Okay, even though you apply the justify, it's not going to help. That's how the animation happens. And mostly this first page is going to be a master page, and the second page is going to be a detail page. That's how the architecture works. So the architecture is first page mostly it is a master page. So this is exactly the similar as the Fiori look and feel. What I am trying to say is that mostly the first page is going to be a master page. Okay. So it's mostly this is going to be a master or detail screen with split apps. I'll tell you what is the meaning of split apps and all in coming days. But start understanding these points. Split apps. Okay. Let me increase this size. Okay. So master or detail screen with split apps. Now here. So this is going to be a drill down screen. Drill down navigation. This is how typical UI5 application looks, or UI5 mobile application looks. So what is this meaning? If you look at here, any Fiori application follows this kind of architecture. Any Fiori application will follow this kind of architecture. So that means what? There will be a page 1, there will be a page 2. From page 1 to page 2, you can navigate. That navigation animation happens by doing show, flip, side, that, these and all. Then in the page 1, basically you will be having master's master information. That means, let's say you want to implement you want to develop an application, Fiori application for the shopping carts. Let's say you want to implement the Fiori application for shopping carts. All the shopping carts will be available in the page 1. Once you click on the shopping cart, the details comes, right? The details will be available in the second page. So that's why this is called as master page. This is called as detail page. Again, there is a master detail page. Master detail page. Master detail page. Like that we have something. So we'll discuss those in the coming days. So therefore, the basic architecture looks like this. The basic architecture of mobile application looks like this. So a mobile application consists of sap.m.app. Inside the app, you will be having the pages. So pages can be navigated by using blah blah blah. Okay. So basically, first page is going to be a master page or detail page, but the second page is going to be a navigation or drill down navigation. That means you want to see the details of the product. then you will be having in the second page. You want to see the approvals information. Let's say you got a travel request and you want to approve it. Before approve, you want to see the details. Then the details are going to be in the second page, like that. So we'll see those examples in coming days. But this is how the architecture looks. Okay, so that's all about. Okay, that's about this one, SAP.yum. Next thing is that. So the next thing is, let's see some of the examples. Before we go to the binding, data binding, I would like to cover some of the examples. So I already typed these examples, as some of them are saying that, okay, it's good to type the example. Okay, so that it will be faster. So now you know how to type it, all these things. Yes, it's now right time to type it. Type and instead of typing it, I can explain it. So the next program is, it's bit interesting. This is also called as two-way binding. So this example is what? Example AngularJS kind of look and feel. Let me show you which is that one.
First one.
Yes, this one is the one. Okay, so let me run this program. You will understand first, then we can see the coding and all. Okay, then we can see the coding and all. Okay, now I am typing, I am opening the Firefox. Look at this. Look at this. So if you look at here, there is a label. So what is the label? Hello hyphen enter name. Look at here. Please look at here. I am typing my name. Look at here. The below one is changed. So that means what? Whenever I type something, that means whenever there is a change, the event trigger, I am trying to display the same here. Now let's look at this piece of code one by one. Let's look at this piece of code one by one. Do you remember? Okay. So now coming back here, so let me explain what this program is. First thing is that, try to understand. I am running the program again. So it's a best example for AngularJS. AngularJS, this is how it works. AngularJS, this is how it works. So that's why this program I call it as AngularJS example. AngularJS kind of example. What is this meaning? I'll explain you. Let me not run in the Tomcat because it's taking too much of time. Run as web preview. Okay, so open this in the browser, close this tab. Now you got output. Look at here. So enter some label is there, then there's a text field. Now I'm trying to type something, then immediately the whatever I am typing, that is displayed in the bottom. That means what? Your view, this is nothing but what? View, and this is nothing but the model. Okay, so the view and model are tightly integrated. That means whatever you type in the view, immediately it appears in the model. Okay, so I'll give that conclusions later. First, let's understand the UI first. Don't close it. If you close it, it will not run here. So therefore, don't close that one. Now coming and see here. First thing is that coming to the div. In the div or coming to the body. In the body, what is there? There is a div, and that div consists of what? Enter name. So that's how you are getting. Fine. So next thing is that div. Okay. So there is a ID. So what is this ID? My name text field. That means there is an empty div right now. Okay. So fine. Now there is one more thing. Now come back here. So there is a JavaScript. Inside JavaScript there is a jQuery function. So it's just a function right now. So we don't have much stuff in that. Now I have taken three variables. One is model, another one is text field, another one is text view. Okay. Now look at the model. So what is the model data? Model data is empty. How to create a model object? You already seen SAP.UI.JSON.model, JSON model. So this is how you can create a model. And model set data. So do I have any data in the model? Model is what? Application data. So do I have any text in this? I don't have any text. That's why you see empty by default. So if I type something, let's say ABC, save it and run this. Then in the text field, you will be getting ABC. ABC. Okay. So right now it is empty. So if it is empty, that means your model is not having any data. That's why you will see empty in the text field. That's why you will see empty in the text field. And enter name here. That's nothing but what? So that is nothing but your placeholder. We already studied the placeholders in the HTML5. We already studied the placeholders in the HTML5. Okay. So what are we trying to do here? I just created a model with dummy. I just created an empty model. I just created an empty model. So model is not having any data. That's fine. Now coming to here, I am creating a text field. So nothing but this one. Okay, I am creating a text field. Inside the text field, if you look at here, value is nothing but what? My model value. That means what? My UI is binded with the model. This is called data binding. Please look at here. That's what, even though folks were saying that, okay, you can type it before come to the class, I did not do, because I want that time you to understand more. Now if I say model, you need to understand all the steps. Oh, model is created, model is set with the data, that, this and all. Okay, fine. Now come back. So I created a model, and model is having data, empty data now. That means model is dummy. Now I am creating a text field. That's nothing but this one. And by default, it can have some value. That value is nothing but I am saying model data. Do I have anything in the model? I don't have. That's why you will see empty. If I go and type something in the model, then obviously your text field also contains the same. Now my model is having ABC. Now if you refresh it, you will see ABC here. Because of the reason is text field is binded with the model. Your text field, that means your UI is binded with the model. So therefore whatever available in the model automatically comes here. So right now let me make it as empty. Right now let me make it as empty. And there is a placeholder. Placeholder appears if you do not type anything. This is the text field. So what is the placeholder here? Enter name here. That appears if you are not typing anything. If you type anything, then that will go. That's a placeholder, or that's a just hint. That's a just hint. Okay. So that's nothing but. Now you are typing something. You are typing something means you are doing something. So for that there is a live change function. Live change. That means if at all you are changing something. If at all you are changing something, live change. That means if there is any change, I am calling a function. So that function is going to return the value whatever I typed. If you look at here, please look at here. I am typing something. That means there is a live change. Whenever there is a live change, immediately I am calling a function. That function taking what? The object information, text field object information. That object is having a method called get parameter dot live values. Okay, so therefore whatever you type, that will be returned by this method. Whatever you type, that will be written by this method, and that I am holding in the live value variable. Live value variable. Okay, now I am setting that value, set value. This is that set value of live value. So if you look at here, live value. Okay, take this. Look at here. Okay, fine. So what is this? Let me remove this. Let me show you. I'm hitting enter. Now I go and type. See, it's not coming because I did not set the live value. So okay, you can set the live value so that it will be available. Okay, now let me come back here and I refresh it. What happens? Let me remove this, save it, and observe the difference. Observe the difference. It's not. Now, if I leave the control, then it's coming. Do you see the difference? Please look at here. I'm refreshing again. I'm refreshing again. So nothing is there. Now I'm typing. That means there is a live change. But am I seeing the results? I am not seeing the results. When I am seeing the results, when you leave the control. That means if you come out of the text field, then you will see the results. Because of the reason is you did not set the live change applied. So therefore, apply the live changes. These dot set value of live values. So you are applying the live values. Okay, now see the difference. Okay, now I am typing, you are seeing. Now I am typing, you are seeing. Okay, now look at here. So I created a text field. Where to display text field? I want to display text field in the div area. So that's nothing but this div area. So that's what ID is used here. Dot place at, then this one. So that's why you see the text field here. Now what else? If you see here, I created one more div called my handle something, a template. We'll study more on this templates and all when we talk about the data bindings. Okay, when we talk about the data bindings, we'll see again. Now if you look at here, whatever I am typing, it is displayed here. Whatever I am typing, it is displayed here. It is displayed here. That means if I am not typing anything, nothing is there. That means there is a template is available which is ready to hold your data. What is the meaning of template? What is the meaning of template? So in the PPT also you create templates, right? What is the meaning of template? It's a predefined structure. A template is a predefined structure. A template is a set of rules. So those rules are common. If you look at here, I am giving a template. That means I am giving the template means you need to follow and you fill your own data. That's what the meaning is. So in the PowerPoint also we have templates, right? If I take the template, what happens? If you look at here, Control N or Control M, right? Insert a slide. Insert. What is that? Slide. So if you look at here, or otherwise, background. Let me close this. New slide. RTF. So if I say new, it's not opening. Control M is a shortcut for the new slide, and there is something called apply. I don't know where the options are available in the recent versions, animations, templates. Okay. Where do I get the template? RTF. Or this is also an example for the template. If you look at here, so I applied the footer, right? Generality, HTML5, UI5 and Fiori. So is it available for all the pages? Yes, it's available for all the pages. It's like one kind of template. So I'll say that, okay, I created a template, you follow it. And you can fill whatever you want inside the template. That's what the meaning is. The same thing is happening here also. The same thing is happening here also. If you look at here, so I have taken a template. Okay, so hello, text path. If you look at here, okay, I'm creating this one, hello. So right now there is nothing. Hello is equal to there, nothing is there. Why nothing is there? Because of the reason is hello is a text, just a label, and the text I am saying you need to take from the model. In the model, do I have anything? I don't have anything. That's why you see empty. That's why you see empty. Now coming to here, I created one more div. In this div, directly I am saying text. But text path is what? Model path. Model is what? Right now empty. Right now empty. So that's why it is not doing anything. So, and after that I am displaying good to go. After that I am displaying good to go. So therefore that's how the UI is created. Now, so we also have live change function applied here. So whenever there is a live change, now I type something. So when I type something, immediately it is going to the model. It's set to the model. Let me resize it. So whatever you type here, it is setting in the model. Once it set the model, automatically what happens? It is available for your divs. It is available for your paths. Once the model is changed, obviously it is reflecting the UI. So this is called two-way binding. What is the meaning of two-way binding? If you look at here, if I have something in the model, it is reflecting in the view. If I change something in the view, it is reflecting in the model. Please look at here. If I run the program, now I don't see anything. That means because my model is empty. My model is empty, so UI is also empty. That means whatever available in the model is coming to the view. Now I type something. When I type something in the text box, automatically this is populated. Your model is populated. That means there is a data coming from view to model, and this model data used in the views again. That means model to view. So that's why it is called two-way data binding. So model to view, view to model. That's why this is called two-way data binding. In the previous examples also we have seen, right? Like we have seen many JSON examples till now. Those are the examples for what? Those are the examples for what? We have seen almost 5 examples for the with the JSONs. All those we created a model. From the model we are taking the data and we are displaying in the UI. So that means what? That is one-way binding. What is the meaning of binding? You have some data, you need to bind that to view. So that's called as data binding. Model is nothing but what? Application data. Application data you need to bind to the UI. So till now whatever examples we studied, those are called one-way binding. This is called two-way binding. The reason is If I change the view, my model is changing, and my model changes automatically again applied to the some other view. So that's why this is called two-way data binding. So both are possible. This kind of example is very simple in the AngularJS. See, to achieve this, how many lines of code I have written? I have written almost 50 lines of code. Almost 50 lines of code. If you want to do same thing in AngularJS, hardly it is 3 lines of code. If you want to do same thing in the AngularJS, it's hardly 3 lines of code. That's why I just given the example name also, Angular like demo. That means Angular like Angular example like demo. So this is very simple in the AngularJS, because AngularJS is going to follow MVC in the client side. The specialty of AngularJS is MVC happens in the client side itself. That means model view controller happens in the client side itself. Client side MVC model is nothing but your AngularJS. I don't know how many people do understand all these things. That's fine. Okay, let me not go up too much on the AngularJS again. So the basic AngularJS conclusion is client side MVC framework. That means once you get the data, with the data itself you can play everything. That means within the data you can form the MVC. That's why it is very simple in AngularJS. But here it's not that much. So that's what I'm trying to say. If you want to achieve the same functionality in the AngularJS, it's 3 lines of code. Okay, now come back. This is also example for two-way data binding. What we are trying to do here. So we created a text field, or we created a model with dummy data. Our model is not having any data, and I created a text field. Text field is having a method called live changes. It tries to see is there any change in that. If any change, it is going to set the values. Now I'm trying to display the data, whatever available in the model, here as well as here. Right now model is empty. That's why you don't see anything at this point of time. Now whenever there is a change, live change, then immediately your UI also changes. That's why. So therefore model to UI data is coming, and this is setting. I type something in the UI, it is going to the model. I type something in the UI, it is going to the model. That's why these values are changed, and these values are coming from the model. So therefore two-way data binding, model to view, view to model. So that's this one. So in the real time also you will be using this. Okay, I type all these programs and I can send to this for you. AngularJS example, blah blah blah. That's what, if you see here, AngularJS is MVW. So AngularJS example is MVW. Previously we have seen what? MVC, MVP, model view presenter, and there is something called MVW. What is the meaning of W? Model view and whatever you want. Okay, what is the meaning of W? Model view, whatever you want. That means you have a model, you have a view. You have a model, you have a view. Model is what in the program we have seen, set model, all these things. We have a model and you have a view, and do whatever you want. That's nothing but MVW. Model, view, whatever you want. That is supported in the AngularJS fully. That's why less amount of code is required. MVW, model, view, whatever you want, is supported in the AngularJS fully. That's why less coding is required. You don't need to do much. But here you are doing, you are checking, is there any live change? If live change, you are writing the code, you are doing the steps, blah 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 blah. Okay, now that's about. Now let's come back. These are the design patterns you need to understand. So this is an interesting one. Let's see some of the steps. The next program is live changes, or what is the program? Remove currently event listener from the button. Yeah, this example. Look at this one. This is also quite interesting. So let me run this program so that you will understand. Okay, now this one is fine. Okay, look at here. This is a simple button. Please try to understand. This is a simple button. This requirement will be there in some of the cases. This requirement is there in the some of the cases. Let's say you save the data. Once you save the data, it is going to take some time to get back. What happens if the guy is click again? Let's say you are giving a button to them, save. They can click, keep on, save like that, right? That means multiple requests are going to the database. That is a bad programming. Then you can do two things. One is what? Once that guy click on the save, until the operation successful, you can disable that button. Or the second one is you can disable the press event. How to do that? That's what the point now. Look at this one. I run the program. This is a button. Button by default will have, or for button there is a press event. I press it. I got this one. Some alert I displayed. I says OK. Okay. Now go and press it. There is no alert is coming on. Because of the reason is I detached the press. Are you getting me? So let's say this is a very good example. You develop some form. You developed some form. And you are going to enter some data. Please understand the requirement. You are going to enter some data. And finally you will be having a button called save data. Finally you will be having a button called save data or submit. Save or submit. What happens? If you give this form to the end user, he enters something. Okay, he enters something and he click on save. Once he click on the save, it will take 10 seconds to save the data successfully and get the response by stating data is saved successfully. Till that time, you should not allow the user to press again. Let's say the guy is pressing again. That means every time you are sending the request. That is a bad programming. There are two options for this. Once that guy click on save, you can disable this button until you get the response. Or, so button is having press event, right? Once he saves the data, once he click on the save data, then detach the event so that he cannot click. Once you get the response, again you can attach the press. Now, how to detach the event, press event? That means already there are some events for the buttons. I don't want that events. I want to detach the events. If you want to detach the events, this is what the example. This is one of the nice example. Now look at here. I am running the program again. First time I am clicking. I have a press event. That's why I got the alert. Click OK. This is the message it is giving that I am removing the press event. I am saying OK. Now it is removed. Now whenever you click, you will not have anything. So the program is something like this. The program is something like this. When first time clicked on the button, press event is available. Once it is over, then I am going to detach the press event. So therefore, second time onwards, press event will not trigger. Press event will not trigger. That's what the program is. Now come back. Now come back. Let's see the code. So these are all very common. So I don't have much stuff to explain there. Now coming to here. So this is the body, nothing. Now let's come back to the, let's go to the function directly. Okay, so if you see this one, yeah, come back here. So I created a button sap.m. SAP.UI.buttons button. Then text is what? Detach press. That's what you see here. That's what you see here. Let me run the program. That's what you see there. Then button attach press. When attach press is clicked, okay, I'm calling the function. Look at here. This one is called. Please look at this again. I just created a button. That button is having display text as detach press. That's fine. That's just a display label. Now, when button is pressed, I'm calling a function. What that function is doing? Look at here. This function is called. Inside the function, there is an alert. That's why I click on this one. The alert is coming. After the alert, I'm checking. Is this a button? See, the object dot get source. Get source is going to tell is that button or not. So I'm just checking is that instance of the source is a button or not. See, if you look at here, I'm getting the get source. Get source, and I'm putting in a variable called source. I'm checking is this instance of button. If button, then I'm displaying one more alert, and I'm saying button dot detach press. Detach press, what it will do? It will remove the press event. It will remove the press event. So therefore, second time onwards, if I press it, you will not see the alert is fried, or you will not see the press event is fried. And if we don't have this one, let's say if I don't have this function, assume that this is not there. That means the detach press is not there. Now look at the difference. Every time alert will be called. Okay, alert is called. Now I go and click on the second time. Second time also called. Third time also called. Fourth time, every time it is going to call. That's why detach press is going to help. Attach press is going to attach the event. Detach press is going to detach the event. Detach the press event. That's it. Attach the press event, detach the press event. So once you detach the press event, second time onwards you will not be able to fire the event. So first time, yes. Second time, no. Second time, third time, no. Once you get the response from the server, then again you can say what? Once you get the response, let's say you are getting some response. Check if, okay, if response is equal to successful. Then again what you will do? If you want to enable it, source dot attach press. If you call if you say attach press again, then the event is going to be attached again. That's what the meaning is. So therefore, attach press is going to attach the press event. Detach press is going to disable the press event. That's about attach press and detach press. Next one is next example. Yeah, the next example is something like a text reader. It's not that much, okay, but the real time, do you use the detach? That's what I'm trying to say. There are many options to handle this. This is one of the options. Whether you want to use it or not, that is your wish. Let's see what is the question. Okay. So in the real time, do we use detach? Allowing user to click the button, not happening anything. User will complain. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. I have given two solutions. So the best option is you can disable it. So let's say I am clicking on the save data. Until you get the response, you can disable it. Or you can also detach the event so that at least the request will not go to the server. It's your wish. Most of the times, the first option is the best option. Most of the times, the first option is the best option. Okay. So that's how the basic goal is that. But see, even though you are using spinner, when you use a spinner, the background is going to freeze. I hope you are aware of that. The problem with the spinner is the background is going to freeze. So if a background is freeze and if your save operation is taking 1 minute and you did a Ajax call, do you want to wait for that? No, you should not wait. That is again a drawback. See, what I am trying to say is that KSA is saying once you click on the save, then you are going to have a spinner stating that you are saving the data. Yes, that's fine. Assume that you send a Ajax request to save the data. Do you need to wait for that? You no need to wait. Then you need to continue with the rest of the steps. That case, you should not freeze the screen. Your spinner freeze the data or freeze the screen. So you should not do that way, because nowadays we have something called Ajax, all these things. Whenever you are using the Ajax, you are going to send the request to the server. So you no need to wait for the results. You can do whatever you want, and once you get back the results, then you can enable this again. Okay, hope I answered everything for you. Okay, sure. Okay, good. So let's go to the next program. The next program is something like this. I have a text file. Okay, let's say I have a text file. I want to read that file information. Let's say I have a text file. Assume that this is what my text file, and I want to read this file. So if you want to read this file, how do you do the programming? Text reader. Okay, let's go to the program called text reader. Where is that? Yeah, here is that text reader. Okay, let me run this program. Okay. Now, okay, there is a file input field. I'm going to select a file. So file is text file. Let's say observations. Click on that. See, it read that and it displayed the content. Okay, don't see this one. Okay, fine. So I'm choosing the text file. Let me choose something else. Link. See, it read that file and it displayed. So that means file text reader. So let's see the program straight away. So these are all you do very well in most of the programming languages. So here also you can able to do. So there is a body. In the body, first thing is that what? You need to have an input type field of type file. See, this is an input type field. But input type field is of type what? File. Which is going to allow you to select the file. Okay, which is going to allow you to select the file. And look at here, I am not able to select the multiple files. Now you check the option how to select multiple files with the input type file, input type of type file. Please understand here. So I am not able to select multiple files. Now you can go and check the options how to select, how to make or how to enable to select multiple files. Okay, right now I am selecting only one file. Click on this, your file is read and you are displaying output. Now come back here. So therefore I created an input field of type file. So it is allowing me to select the file. That's it. It is allowing me to select the file. Then you have something called target. It's empty right now. We'll see what is the target. Now coming to the script. So there is a text view. I just created a text view. Okay, and I am attaching the text view to what? Target. Target means this one. So right now text view is not having anything. So text view I am trying to display something. Okay, if you look at here, jQuery dot SAP dot UI dot get ID by text field. So which is the text field here? If you look at here, text field ID is this one. Where is that? Here, this one is the file, input file. That means what I'm trying to say here, jQuery dot SAP dot get by ID. I already explained. What is this going to return? It is going to return the pointer to the base object. That means for this. And I am binding event. What does that mean? If there is any change, do I have any change? No, I don't have any change. Now I am selecting this file. Then immediately there is a change. If there is any change, I am calling the function called handle file select. That means this will be called. Okay, so let me give one conclusion here. I know, okay, so even when I was teaching the C language or Java, even when I was taking for the CBIT students, because I want to give one conclusion here. So when I was teaching the C language for the CBIT students, I'm taking the example of CBIT students because the reason is, you know well. So I was teaching the C language for the CBIT students for the final year guys. When I was teaching the C language, they says, oh, are we lagging this much of knowledge? That means most of the guys think that okay, CBIT guys are the yes, that's fine. But the thing is that our standards are like that. Don't think that okay, you are having lot of knowledge lag, or you are lagging with the knowledge. No, nothing like that. Everyone is same. And don't demote yourself that others know everything and you also don't know these things. No, I am sure in the class everyone don't know anything here. And whatever is required to understand this, I already explained. Okay, so maybe I did not explain properly. Let me put it in this way. What I am trying to say here is that as so many things are introduced, some people get demotivated by assuming that others are able to understand and I am only not able to understand because I am having less knowledge or less things, something like that. No, you are having good knowledge, you are good to understand all these things. Don't discourage yourself that okay, others are able to understand, you are only not able to understand. Everyone is same here. Only thing is that practice is required. Our standards are like that. Especially when I was teaching the theory and all, obviously people think that okay, oh, what is this? Oh, it is having heavy. Maybe others are good to understand. I'm not good to understand all these things because of ABC background, XYZ background, all these things. Forget about the background. Whatever may be the background, to understand this program, I explained all the steps. Now whatever is new, I am explaining. Now it is your responsibility to spend the time. I am sure you go and give this program to ABC guy, that guys also will be same. See, certain point of time you need to start it. So when you come to the BTech, C language is coming first time, right? You spend the time, you learn it. The same way, you spend the time here and you learn it. It's nothing like others are able to do, you are not able to do. No. I'm sure all 9 students are almost equal. If someone is able to answer means they read my previous notes. Example, I asked when did we use document.get element by ID? Sunil answered correctly. That means what? He read my previous notes. Whatever is required, I explained already. Now, if you want to be followed everything correctly on day-to-day basis, whatever I taught, please read correctly or day-to-day basis. That's only the simplest solution for you. Don't worry too many things. And I am covering most of the steps because of the reason is, even though you get 5 years of experience in the UI5, still you can think that, okay, yes, this guy has given something to me. I am covering all the possible cases such a way that you will not struck at least. That is what my goal is. I can simply cover like others by creating one UI5 program by stating, okay, this is the UI5 mobile program. First page is there, second page is there. I am able to navigate from first page to second page. That's it. And I can create some buttons, and I can say button is created this way, input field is created this way, text field is created this way. That's it. That's not my intention. My intention is, even though you get 5 years of experience in UI5, still the class should be useful. Okay, it's all like how you think. Don't discourage yourself and close your mind by coming to the conclusion that you are only not able to understand. Because I have proven you who is able to answer my question, whoever read my previous notes. If you are not able to understand, that means you did not read my previous notes. So the problem is with your end only. Please read the notes clearly. Okay, fine. Let's come back. Okay. Now I just created an input type field. Okay, I just created an input type field. Now if you look at here, I'm calling a jQuery function. So this just now I explained, it is going to return the root pointer object. Then I am binding dot bind. So I am checking, is there any change in this field? Is there any change? So right now there is no change. When there is a change, I click on this one, I selected a file. Once you selected a file, immediately there is a change in the file type field. When there is a change, immediately I am calling the function. Which function I called? I called this function. So therefore it will go to here. It will go to here. Now here what we are doing? I am reading that file. I am taking the file. I am checking if this file is empty. Okay. The object dot target dot files of 0 is going to give the file name. Why file name? Why is 0 here? Object dot target dot files of 0 gives the file name. So what is the file name here? So if you see the file name here, so link.txt. So it's going to give the file name. Now I am checking, is that file empty? If not, then it will come inside. If not, then it will come inside. Then I am taking file reader. This file reader will help me to read the content. I am taking file reader. This file reader will help me to read the file content. Okay. So therefore, on load, what I am doing, I am checking the file. Or on load, I am calling a function. So if you look at here, just give me a sec. Okay, so therefore this file reader will help me to read the file content. And once I read where I am displaying, if you look at here, this is where I am displaying. This means what? If you look at here, the target one. Target one means what? Text view. So basically, I am trying to display that red results. That means I am going to read the results, and whatever I read, I am displaying in the text view. That's nothing but here. That's nothing but here. And if you look at here, get element ID by get text. So that means it's text view. So I'm getting the object of this text view, and I'm setting the text of the results. That means basically I'm reading the file content. Once I read the file content, I am setting the file content to this text view. So text view ID is what? TXT content. So therefore TXT content, then this dot set text of the results, whatever I read. So that's why you see here. Okay, let me go here and select the file. There is a change. Once there is a change, it will come to this function. In this function, I am reading file of 0. File of 0 is nothing but the file name. I am checking if that file is empty. If not empty, I am using the file reader to read the content. And once I read the content, I am setting that content to the text field. Text field means what? Text field is binded with the div. That's nothing but the target one. That's why you see the results here. That's about the text field. Now I would like to explain one more example. That's nothing but how to apply the CSS. The next example is very much important. Everyone should be able to understand the next example. Because, so till now we created so many UIs. Till now we did so many programs, but we did not apply the styles. If you want to apply the styles, I already given one example, but we'll see what are the possible ways to apply the CSS for our UI5 application. This is very much important. If you are sleeping, please wake up. After completion of my course, if you say, I don't know how to apply CSS for the UI5 application, then I don't know what to do. Please wake up. Now I am telling you how to apply the CSS for your UI5 elements. So the question is how to apply CSS for your UI5 elements. So the next thing is, okay, program number 22. So we have 3 ways how to apply CSS for UI5 application or in UI5 application. How do you apply CSS for UI5 application? So that I can start data bindings tomorrow. How to apply CSS for UI5 application. So yesterday I typed this program so that it will not take much time for us to explain. Let's see the CSS. Okay, the first method. So there are 3 methods basically. I am explaining all these 3 methods. Let me not run in the Tomcat. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, so let's look at the code. What is the code here? Forget about the style. Method 1. Please look at here. Method 1. Method 1 is whatever I am trying to say. Method 2. There are 3 methods to apply the CSS. All the methods I am explaining. Now it is up to your wish. How do you want to proceed for your requirements? And the 4th method is external CSS. That's also fine. Look at here. This is the UI5 programming. I have a button. The button display text is what? I am button. And what is this help ID? Let's see. What is the help ID? I'll show you here. Look at here. So whatever we have here, I am button is the display text. So text is displayed. I am button. Now if you look at here, there is a help ID. Press me. Okay. So maybe instead of help ID, let's say tooltip. Let's say tooltip. Okay, what is the functionality of that? You can look at the help. SAP.m. Not m. This is what? SAP.ui.commons.button. Okay, so let's go here and see how to get a tooltip. Okay, if you look at here, these are the methods. Okay, so there is a help ID. If you look at here, it's going to return the string and style, title. Okay, tooltip. Yeah. So get a tooltip is the method. Set a tooltip. You can set the tooltip. Yeah, these are the methods here. It's not properties. Okay, so the basic goal of that one is what I'm trying to say is that if I want to have some tooltip, what is the meaning of tooltip? Look at here. I hovered on this. You are getting some help, right? That's called tooltip. If you want to tooltip, then there is a method here. Set tooltip, get tooltip. So you can set the tooltip. If you are setting the tooltip, then you will get the tooltip. Okay, forget about that. Our goal is to explain the UI5. So method one is CSS. So if you look at here, on press, what we are doing? You can also remove this, that's fine. On press, I am calling a button. And the button I am placing in the body. There is nothing here. So there is nothing here, nothing new up to now. Look at here. I click on this one. So the alert is displayed. Now, I would like to apply CSS for this button. I would like to apply CSS for this button. If you want to apply CSS for this button, the method one. So you have a button ID, right? So apply the styles in the headers. Button one is the ID. Then apply color green, Arial, font size, pink, background color is pink, height, width and all you can apply. Height, width and all you can apply. Now go and refresh this one and see. See, background color pink is applied. Then height is what? Height is 70 pixels. Weight is what? Or width is what? 300 pixels. That's why you see like this. Now you can click on that. Now you can apply borders, shadings, all these things. If you want to borders, border colon, let's say 2 pixels, black, something. So it's not applied because of the reason is maybe something is overriding this. Okay, inspect element. If you look at here, what is that? BLACK. Oh, spelling is mistake. Okay, BLACK. Okay. Okay, so that's applied. If you look at here, that's applied. Maybe you can have something. Okay, so if you look at here, there is a border streak out. So that's why it's not coming on. Let's see. You can also apply here. Border. Border. Let's say something. You can put 20 pixels. Then black. It's overriding by bottom, top one. So if you look at here, yeah, it's coming from the div element basically. So you need to go and override from there. background color, all these things are background color is fine. So it's actually overriding from the base one. So that's why. So this is not applied, but you can also apply border radius, right? Border hyphen radius, radius colon, let's say 20 pixels. Border radius, at least border radius will be there. Yeah, if you look at here, border radius is applied. Okay, so this is how you can apply the properties. So the method one is what? So I hope everyone is able to follow. So I did not do anything. I just displayed a button. For this button, I want to apply the CSS. If you want to apply the CSS, so button one is, or button is having the ID. So take the ID and apply the colors, apply the styles, whatever you want. That is the first thing. Next, the second thing. If you don't want this way, now let me run this program. If you don't want that way, then let me run this program. The other way is, look at the code. So look at the code. I'm removing the styles right now. So it's nothing. It's just a button. If I remove the styles, it's just a button now. It's just a button. Okay, now let me comment out this also. Or let me remove this also. So this is nothing but the button. I don't have anything. Fine. Now what are we trying to do here? I did not do anything. I just created a button and I just have something text and press and press. I'm just displaying a alert. That's fine. This press event or this button is displayed in the UI. That's fine. Now I would like to apply the styles. If you want to apply the styles, you will be writing the CSS. So like this, you can write. That means you are writing a class. Previously, what you are doing, you are writing the CSS with the help of ID. That's why it was has. Now I am writing what? With a class. So I defined a class which is having 30 pixels, 70 pixels, or 300 pixels height, 300 pixels width, and 170 pixels height. And this is a class, and this class I would like to apply for the button. So therefore, button dot add style of my class, whatever class here you have. I am repeating this again. I created a button. In the previous example, what did we do? We applied the styles with the help of button ID. Now I don't want to use the ID. I want to use the class. If you want to use the class, create the class first and define the styles. Create the class and define the styles. Once you have the class and define the styles, and this class you want to apply, this style class you want to apply for the button. So therefore, after creation of the button, button dot add style. Which style? This style. Apply it. That's all. You are done. Now refresh it. You will see the changes. That's it. Refresh it. You will see the changes. First method is what? How to apply the CSS with the help of ID. How to apply the CSS with the help of class. That's it. We have seen both methods. Now you can write whatever you want with the help of whatever I told you. Okay, next method is, it is something different and interesting. Look at here. Let me remove the styles first. Okay, now what are we trying to do here? Understand, please understand. I am running this program. Okay, now let me not run in the Tomcat. Let me run in the web preview. Okay, so let me run this. in the Chrome. Now close this tab. Okay, now come back to the program. Now this is what text field. Now if I hover on this, I am getting tooltip. Look at this here, please. If I hover on this, I am getting the tooltip. If I hover on this, I am getting the tooltip. For this tooltip, I would like to apply the styles. Please look at here. If I hover on this, I get the tooltip. For this tooltip, I would like to apply the styles. Okay, now let's see what is displaying like this. How are we getting like this? When I hover on this, I'm getting this. How are we getting that? Nothing. So I created a text field. Then value state. If you look at here, there is a property called value state. I'm saying error. sap.ui.core.valuestate.error. That's why when you hover on this, you are getting this invalid, this one, right? That is coming because of that. I'm repeating this again. Let's say I remove this one. Now go here, run this one. If you look at here, you are not getting that. So you would like to display some error with a red color and all. Then you are going to use the property called value state. See, it's a pink color or red color. It indicates that there is something missing. If you want to display that kind of stuff, then for the text field, you are going to use something called value state. And the value is nothing but sap.ui.core value state. That's nothing but the error. That's why you see the first one. Invalid entry. That is coming in as a error. These kind of things, whenever you see, that's called error. Errors generally comes in the red color. Fine. After that, there is some text. How are we getting that? If you look at here, I am creating a variable, and in that variable, I am putting something. I am Chenna, please choose. Break. Break means next line. Then I have something called UL, unordered list. I hope you remember. Ordered list, unordered list. In the unordered list, what I am having? I am having 1 testing, 2 testing. So that's why when I hover on this unordered list, please, I am Chenna, please choose something. That's the message. Under that unordered list, that's why you are getting bullets. Choose that one. So actually I did not apply the press event, that's why you are not able to choose. That's fine. So that is coming this one. Then this is, right now it is what? Just a variable. Right now it is what? It is just a variable. This variable, or right now this is the text. This text I want to show as a tooltip for this text box. This text I want to show in the tooltip for this text field. If you want to do that, then you are going to use sap.ui.comments rich text field. Oh, sorry, rich tooltip. What is the tooltip I would like to apply? This one. That's why I am saying text is equal to yes HTML. That means static HTML. It's a variable name. You apply that one so that will be displayed here. So tooltip automatically applies when you hover. You no need to specify clearly that on hover do this. You don't need that. You don't need that. Okay? Fine. So that's how you are getting the tooltip. So and you are setting the tooltip. Set the tooltip, whatever the tooltip we have. This one. So that's what. Tooltip is not the property. Tooltip is the method here. Set tooltip, get tooltip. That's why you are able to see here. Okay, now the question is, so there is a lot of explanation here. Please try to understand. Now let me repeat on a high level what we did. We created a text field. This text field, I error message. In this text field, I would like to apply error message. When I hover, the error message is coming. Now, when I hover, can't we? No, that's what I'm saying. It's a method. It's a method. Now see here, when I hover on this, I would like to apply some state or some value. That's nothing but the error value. The error value is available here. You can apply. After that, I would like to apply some tooltip on my own way. So I have written some text, then unordered list. Then I'm displaying one testing, two checking. One testing, two checking. That's it. These I want to appear as a tooltip. So therefore, reach tooltip. Then which is the tooltip I would like to apply? This one, and share that tooltip so that you got the tooltip. Now the question is how to apply styles for this. This is somewhat good requirement. How to apply styles for this? If you want to apply the styles, there is no direct mechanism because the reason is tooltip appears on hover. So therefore, right click on this tooltip, inspect element, okay, expand it, and look at here, this is the tooltip. And the tooltip is already having a style class called SAP UI5 So you need to override that. If you override, then your styles will be applied. That's the reason in the previous class, even though you applied the border, it's not applied because of the reason is there is a predefined class already. You need to override it. Okay, I'm repeating the requirement again. You need to find out because you are using the theme. When you use the theme, there will be some classes CSS applied for your elements. If something is not applied, that means there is a class already applied, you need to override it. This is the example I am showing. This is very commonly you will be using because you will be using the themes. When you use the theme, by default some CSS applies. And you don't want that CSS and you want your own CSS. I hope everyone is able to hear me, right?
Yes, Chinna.
Because I see something network connection that and all. I hope, okay, fine. Now what I'm trying to say is that even though you go and apply the styles, it will not apply because of the reason is there is a class already applied with the help of or from the theme. So you need to override this. How do I know which class is applied? You hover on this, right click on the tooltip, inspect element. This is the span or this is the element created. For that there is a class called SAP UI5. This is the class you need to override so that the colors will be applied or so that the slides will be applied. So therefore now I am going and applying the styles. If you look at here, styles. Then what is the class name? The class name is SAP UI5. You have to use the same name, FTV. Then font family something, color is equal to blue, something. Now go ahead and refresh and say, check the results. Previously it was white color. Now look at here, there is a red, blue color. The reason is you overrided the existing class. If you have your own class name, then no use. You have to override. Look at here. Now blue color is not there. Because of the reason is, already this tooltip is having a style coming from the theme. Now it is your responsibility to override the theme or override the theme provided class. If you want to override, first identify what kind of class style is applied from the theme. So this is the class applied from the theme. Take the same class name and override it. Now refresh it. Now hover it. You got the styles. That's about this one. The fourth method is what? Having the styles in the separate file and include in the current HTML. How do you include? What is the syntax? How do you include? What is the syntax? Let's say I have a file, CSS file, outside the HTML, and I want to refer that HTML file inside, I want to refer that CSS file inside the HTML. How do you do? Which is the control I need to use? Which is the control I need to use? Guys, are you sleeping? We already discussed, right? Internal CSS, yes, that's correct. Link command, link control. Internal CSS, inline CSS, external CSS. What is the inline CSS? You already know. What is the internal CSS? Already you know. External CSS means outside. When there is a outside, then you need to use link command to link that, or link control to link that. That's how you can apply the styles. Now, if you have any questions, you can ask me. Else, we'll stop here and we'll continue tomorrow. The one, whatever we discussed the last, you are going to have this one as a common requirement in most of the projects, because you need to change the colors, you need to change the stuffs, all these things. If you want to change it, these are the possible scenarios. And the fourth scenario is external CSS. If at all you have external CSS, use the link command or link control to link the CSS inside the HTML file. Any questions? If you have any questions, you can ask me. Else we can stop here. Guys, any questions? Hello, mic testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Any questions? Shiva, Sunil, Sukrit, Sai, Danu, Venu?
No.
Sika. Everyone is good, right?
I mean, but we'll practice, then we'll get some.
Whatever you do. Okay. So if you have any questions here, now you can ask me, else we can start. So that's what I am, from my side, I am covering all possible scenarios for the project purpose. These are the common requirements we will be having in the projects. Especially applying the CSS is very much important. So some cases you can apply with the ID, some cases you can apply with the class, some cases you can apply the one whatever I told you the last, some cases external CSS. Okay, so this is what the basic steps on the view. So I hope I covered maximum on the views. We have 4 types of views: XML, HTML, all these things. And before we cover the data binding, let's cover the controls. Yes, I'll do. I'll not do zip. Okay. I'll try to do the zip, but I don't know. Because of the reason is, I'll send like previous. Did you see how I was sending previous? Or you are not at all opening my emails? That's hard. That's why you need to make it simple. That's why you need to make it simple, right? That is the reason I went to each program and I explain you how that looks. What is the architecture? How do you run the programs? All these things. Okay, fine. I'll zip it and I'll send it to you. I'll make you simple. If I make you simple, you will not learn anything. That's the problem. So I want you to learn something. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I'll zip it and I'll send it to you. I can understand from your end. Okay, what else? Okay, so it's good that before we start the data bindings, let me cover something on the controls, like how to run some of the controls like buttons, input elements, start, these and all. I'll try to run some controls. Maybe 2 days we can spend on that. See, especially controls, we can spend more than 20 days also, but that's not a good practice because it's already available. I'll show you how to run the programs with a couple of examples, maybe around 10 examples. With that, you will be good. And if some control you want to use, I'll show you how to get the, because you have seen, right, in the SAP.m itself, you have more than 100 controls. Like that, you have SAP.UI, these and all. So if you want me to spend the time there, then I can spend maybe, that's how it is working outside, but that's not going to help you much. But I can show you some of the examples so that you should be able to go and ping some of the controls and able to use in your projects. Then we can cover the data bindings. Then we'll see the best practice of developing UI5 application with MVC design pattern or MVC, sorry, not MVC. What is that? Master MD, MMD, MDD. That's it. Master detail, master detail. Like that, there are some design patterns. We need to understand those design. After that, I think we need to do some more examples. That's fine. We'll see. So it will be around 10 days of explanation to complete all these things. After 10 days, we'll start the SAP.yum. Or let's target this way. By next weekend, we can complete including the models. Okay. Then by 14th, we'll complete that best practices, MD, MMD, MDTD, all these things. The another 1 week we can spend the SAP M libraries, something and if some kind of practice. Then from 21st we'll try to work on the Fiori side. 21st to 2nd. That includes how to use the UI5 gateway services, all these things. That's what the goal. Okay, tomorrow also I'll take 2 hours something. From Friday it will be exactly 1 hour, 1 hour 10 minutes class. Okay, thank you. Bye.